Hello. Hi, good morning, everyone. Am I audible to all of you?
Yeah, good morning.
Yes,
Good
good
morning,
morning.
good morning, good morning. Okay, I can see one more participant joined today, Rupa Rani, right?
Ruparani, yes.
Yeah, okay. Hi, welcome to this training program. And I believe
Okay.
that the team, they have already told you about this training program, that this is a Salesforce development training program. And
Yeah.
in this program, we will be going to cover Apex LWCs, batch Apex classes, triggers, and integration topics. So, in short, we will be going to cover the in-depth topics on Salesforce development, which will help you to clear the development certification program.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, great. So today's session one, actually, in the last set, we have connected last session also, but that just an introduction session. So we haven't done much. So we'll be going to start from the scratch today onwards. And for this training, basically for this batch, what I will be going to do, I will be going to register for a new license, new Salesforce license. Reason, we will be going to work on a project. So basically the idea is, it's a scenario based training, and we will be going to take up a project from the beginning itself, and we'll start like whatever customization, whatever development we'll be doing in this training, that we'll be doing around that project, that application, actually that Salesforce application. What's the benefit? What's the advantage? The advantage is you will be able to understand that how we gather the requirements, whenever we get the requirements, how to deal with those requirements, how to handle those requirements. So that's the agenda for this training program. And just a minute, let me share my screen. And just a second. Yes. So let's start with today's session. So in today's session, we'll be going to talk about, first of all, we'll see how do we register for a Salesforce Salesforce subscription, Salesforce account for practice. And as I can see, I have already discussed this with Sujata and Pongo. So how about you, Ruparani? Like, what's your prior experience? Like, do you have any are you familiar with the Salesforce admin concepts?
Actually, my background is teaching professional, but
Okay.
I studied admin part. I think 2 months back I studied. Then
Hmm.
I went for teaching job. Now I quit my teaching job because I wanted to
Okay.
continue again the Salesforce training. So that's why I joined
Okay.
this. But already I have some
Okay. No
knowledge of
problem.
part. Yeah.
Okay, no problem. So that means you are familiar with the admin concepts like applications, objects, and all terminologies,
Yeah.
right? Okay, great.
Yeah.
So let's proceed with today's session, everyone. And like as I have already discussed earlier, also that we will be going to start with the Apex, because Apex is the base for the Salesforce development. Whenever we start the Salesforce, whenever we start our career, or whenever we start working as a Salesforce developer, our objective is to do customization. Customization in terms of our objective is to build custom interface based on the requirement by using our programming skills, by using our programming knowledge. So basically, we have to use some programming skills in order to design and develop a custom application, customizations, custom interfaces, you can say, for our users, for our end users. Now let me switch to my Salesforce first of all, and as I mentioned that we'll be going to register for a trial account. So let me do that. 1 second, let me share again. I think it stopped sharing. Right. Now, as a Salesforce experts, if you simply visit Salesforce website, salesforce.com, because obviously we need a trial account for okay, we need a trial account for for practice. Okay, otherwise how are we going to do practice? So for that we need a Salesforce trial account, and that's very simple. What you can do, you can simply visit Salesforce website, and when you scroll down, there's an option called start free trial. You can say start free trial, but the challenge with this start free trial is it's only a 30 days trial version, and after 30 days your subscription will expire. That is the issue. So after 30 days the subscription get expired, and when I say subscription get expired, so that means after 30 days you need to register for a new Salesforce subscription or Salesforce account by using a different email ID. Okay, because here your email ID will be your username, login username, login ID. So if you want to register for a new Salesforce account, you can do that by using a new email ID. Okay, you can use a different email ID, or you can register a you can first register a new email account and then use that email account here. That's not a big deal, but the problem is, the issue is, whatever customization we'll be doing in this trial account, we cannot carry forward, we cannot move, we cannot transfer those customizations from this interface to another one. Okay, so for example, we have two instances and it's not possible to move one, like whatever customization we have done in one instance, we cannot move it to the next one. Then what's the solution? Two approach. Number one, reconfigure everything again, redo it everything again from the scratch. That is the first solution. Okay, second solution is we can go for we can pay for that. Basically we can pay for the services. You can say whenever we subscribe for, let's say I have registered for a Netflix subscription, 1 month subscription, and after that my subscription got expired, so they just give me 4 to 5 more days. Okay, 4 or 5 days grace period to register, basically to pay for that. And if after that duration, if I did not pay, then what happens? They will cancel my subscription, they will close my account. So same thing happens in Salesforce, but in this case they don't give any grace period. After 30 days it will end it up, and then we have to either we continue paying for that, or else we register a new account. But the challenges I've already told you by signing up a new account, the challenges I've already told you. So is there any way that we can use the same account as long as we want without paying any cost, without paying any money? So yes, there is a solution for that, and the solution is, instead of signing up here and see what is the cost. The cost is 2,000 rupees per month per user. Okay, 2,000 rupees per month per user, right? So obviously we might not be interested, or definitely no one will be interested to pay an extra cost. So therefore Salesforce has introduced a platform called developer.salesforce.com. developer.salesforce.com developer.salesforce.com. Here we have to sign up. We don't have to pay any cost, and the subscription which we register, that subscription will also not expire. That subscription will not get expired. We can use that subscription as long as we want. There will be no expiry. Understood, everyone? There would be no expiry. You can use that as long as you want. The only challenge is it's a trial account, so we have some restrictions like we'll get only 5 MB of space. 5 MB means around 200 to 300 records we can easily insert actually. and that's sufficient for practice purpose. Those number of records are okay, right? Number one. Number two, we can add only one more user for practice purpose. Okay, we can register only one more account, one more user for practice purpose. Cannot have more than one user, or more than two users, sorry. More only maximum two users will be allowed, and if you want more users, then we have to again go for a subscribed version or paid version. The third issue is Salesforce release 3 updates every year: spring, summer, and winter. Okay, so Salesforce release 3 updates every year, and whenever Salesforce release any update, those updates will not reflect instantly. For example, recently Salesforce released winter 25. Okay, Salesforce has released winter 25, but that winter 25 update will not reflect here. That winter 25 update will reflect after a couple of months. Reason, it's a free trial account, it's not a paid one. If it's a paid one, then we'll have an instant update, but here it's a trial account, so therefore in trial account the update happens after a couple of months. Those updates will reflect after few months. But I think that's not an issue, because we are like, for practice that's enough, that's sufficient. But yes, for if we want to update ourselves, then we need to go for a paid version. So like you have both the ways to deal with. So how do we sign up? When we scroll down, here you can see there's a browse trial option. Click on browse trials, and it will take you to the Salesforce Developers Edition. Sign up for the Salesforce Developer Edition. Now in this Salesforce Developer Edition, the subscription we are going to subscribe now, we are going to register now. In this subscription, we can practice admin, we can practice developer, integrations, whatever topics we have decided to cover in this training, all the topics can be practiced here. So you don't have to get any additional account, or you don't have to get any additional services for practice the Salesforce development. Okay, this is enough. So I just say sign up for the Salesforce Developer Edition. Signing up is very easy. You have to only provide your informations. Okay, you have to only provide your informations here, but make sure do not provide any official information. Official means, for example, I just put my name, let's say Sumit, my first name, last name, email address. Here I'm going to use my personal email account. The reason, we will be going to register as a Salesforce administrator. So we'll be going to register as an admin in terms of the person who manages everything within an organization. And this will be an email account. So if I forgot my email account, if I forgot my credentials, username and password, or if I forgot my password, if I want to reset my password, so that will be this email account will help us for that. This is not the user ID, this is just for other activities. Role, you can decide anything. I'll select developer here. Company name, you can put any dummy names, no issues. Country, I put India. State, postal code. Username, this is important. Here you have to provide the username. Okay, so here you have to provide the username. Fine. Now, how this username will be? This username will be in the form of an email address. It does not have to be a real one. It must be unique and cannot be associated with another Salesforce login credentials. So because all of you are familiar with these things, Salesforce things, so I'm just going to sign up here. How do I do that? I just put SFDC batch 454 at the rate, oh, it's already there, 455 at the rate gmail.com. This email does not exist, and I'm just I'm going to click on sign me up, and once I click on sign me up, Salesforce will quickly go and check whether this username is already associated with any other Salesforce account, because I'm not the only one who will be going to signing up. I'm not the only one who will be doing training on Salesforce. There might be other trainers also who used to do training on Salesforce, and they may also follow the same pattern. So there might be possibility that whatever username I'm going to provide, whatever username I'm typing in, it may possible this username is already used by someone else. Or okay, this is for me, but in your case, what I would suggest you, for example, you can do like this. You can put your first name Sumit and anything else you want, but make sure it should be unique. Okay, that should be unique. SFDC batch 455 @gmail.com and click on sign me up. So it will quickly go and check, verify if this username will be unique. If it is unique, it will redirect us to the next screen. Otherwise, it will throw an error message here only. So that means this username will be unique. That's a unique username, and this username, now Salesforce will be setting up an environment. Okay, Salesforce will be setting up the whole environment. Now, what exactly do I mean by this? You know that whenever we subscribe for any service, let's suppose I want an application on my phone. So what I'm going to do, we'll install that application. But when we install the application, it takes some time. Okay, it takes some time. It takes few minutes. Or if we reconfigure, let's suppose I have reinstalled an operating system on my laptop. So what happened? It takes time to reconfigure everything, to reset everything, and to install the default softwares, default applications. Later on, we can download and install more applications, but by default, whenever by default, initially when we format our system and we reinstall it, it will install some pre-installed, pre-configured application. Same thing happens with Salesforce. See, if you remember, I mentioned that Salesforce is a cloud solution. It's a 100% cloud solution, and it works on prepaid service. Prepaid means for the services we wanted to use, we have to pay for that. And once we pay for that, we subscribe. Based on the subscription, Salesforce will set up the whole environment for us. Like you can say, it says, please check your email to verify your account. It will take some time, and during that duration, Salesforce will set up the whole environment for us. It will set up the platform. It will map the credentials with that account. Okay, with that account. There are some pre-installed applications. We used to call them system applications. So Salesforce configured those system applications or pre-configured applications in backend on that. In backend on our platform. It will configure the database on Salesforce server and map that database with our Salesforce account. And once everything will be ready, then it will send an email to us. And right now you saw that we only provided the email. We only mentioned the username. There is no option for password. Reason: once everything gets configured, once our platform will be ready, we'll receive an email. And in that email, there's a link for verification. And once we verify, once we verify that link, then Salesforce will register. Salesforce will provide us an interface where we have to set our password and the security quotient. And security quotient, just in case if I forgot my password, then how do I reset that? Okay, so that security quotient will help us just to make sure that I'm the authorized person who will be requesting for password reset. So security quotient helps in that way. So we have to wait for some time. It takes around 5 to 10 minutes to configure everything, to set everything. Meanwhile, let's talk about something new about Salesforce. What's that? As I've already mentioned, that Salesforce is a cloud-based CRM solution. Now, what do you mean by cloud-based? Cloud-based means on cloud. We don't have to set up anything. CRM, customer relationship management. If you remember, I asked about database. Do you know about database? What exactly database is? What is the use of database? Database is basically a tool which helps to store the data, to maintain the data. What type of data? Any type of data. Maybe let's say database data for student, data for employee, data for customers, product data, or finance data, or investment data. Any sort of data can be stored within the data set in a database. Now, in a database, there's a proper flow. What's that? First of all, we need to register a data set. Data set. Within data set, we used to create tables. Within database or within data set, we used to insert tables. Right? Tables means collection of rows and columns in a relational format, in a structure format. Because if the data is not in a structure format, it will be very difficult to maintain that data. Within tables, we used to add fields. When we say fields, fields means employee ID, employee name, customer ID, customer name, customer address. These all are fields. And once we have all these information, we used to insert records. This is about database. Now, if you are not familiar with database, be familiar with Excel, right? So in Excel, let me open an Excel.
Sumit, just a quick question. So fields are columns and records are rows, right?
I'm coming to that. Actually, I'm just explaining that with the help of a Google Sheet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that you can understand that better. I'm just opening it. Now, let's talk about, see, this is my Google, this is an Excel. Now, here I mentioned data set. So database, okay, can we create multiple sheets into this spreadsheet? Can I add more sheets? Is it possible?
Yeah.
Yes. First of all, if you say Excel, so in Excel, we have Excel workbook. So an Excel workbook will be, it's a data set. Okay. Excel workbook will be a data set. Now within Excel workbook, we used to add what? We used to add sheets. So sheets will be referred as tables, sheets, or we used to say worksheets. So worksheets will be considered as tables. Get it? And then when we say fields, for example, in this worksheet, I just write here, okay, tell me one thing. Let's suppose I enter here number 1, Sam, Delhi. Then Mike, Pune, 3. Number 2. Number 3, Mumbai, David. Is it correct? Is this correct data?
No, because it each column have a different data types in each row.
Okay, so does it going to make any difference if it has got a different database or different information in each column? Does it make any difference?
We won't be able to mention a specific data type for the column. It's all mixed, so
the data is not good. It is not a good type of data if we store like this. It should be clear.
Okay, it should be clear.
Yeah.
because
Okay.
So a lot of
name is
confusion will be there, and
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Yes. What's your input, Ruparani, on this?
That order is not correct. So which one is a name and which Delhi is what? So that a label is not mentioning.
Label is not. So can I say that this is an unorganized data?
Right. Yeah.
Correct.
Right? This is an unorganized data. So what do we do for an organized data? What should we do then? See, if you provide this, let's suppose I am a user, I'm an end user, and you are, let's suppose you are from the company side, and I'm an end user, and you give me a task that I have to feed the data into an Excel sheet. I just open an Excel sheet and I just start feeding up the data into that. And once I complete that task, now you told me that this is invalid data, or like this data is not properly formatted. But my question to you is, how do I know that in which column what to enter? How do I know that? Right?
Yeah, there is no specific label for the column. So
that's right. So that means fields are not there. So when we say labels mean the fields will be not be there. So we have to mention the fields actually. So I just say insert one row above. I'll just say serial number, name, and city. Once we have this, it will be easy for okay, number 2, Mike. Number 3, David. This is an organized data. And why this is an organized data? What helps to organize this data? The fields. Okay, the fields. And in database, fields, or in Excel, we used to call them as labels. Clear? And finally, this is called, see, these are called records. 1 record, 2 record. So the collection, like the complete collection about the complete collection of the fields will be considered as 1 record. So there are 3 records. 3 record means three names. Okay, when we have 3 names, this considered to be as 3 records. Is that clear?
yes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Fine. So this is about Excel and data set. But when it comes to Salesforce, obviously in Salesforce, we are not going to use this term. We'll not be going to use this term. But if you see the structure, the flow is same. Even if here we say labels, and here also we have record. So just look at here, 4 things: data set, tables, fields, records, workbook, worksheet, label, records. So it's almost same, only the labels are different. Okay, only labels are different. Fine. Now, when it comes to Salesforce, in Salesforce, we used to call it as an application. So in Salesforce, we used to call this as application. Within application, we used to add objects. We used to call them objects. Within objects, we used to call them. We used to add fields, and finally, we insert records. Again, if you see, the flow is same. Only the terminologies are different. Different terms. Clear?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Fine. Okay. Yes. Perfect. Now in Salesforce, when we talk about applications, so we have 2 types of applications. There will be 2 types of applications: standard and custom. So if you have gone through the Trailhead programs, the Salesforce Trailhead program, the admin part, there you might have seen this thing, the standard and the custom things, standard and custom. So standard basically predefined. the system defined, you can say already defined by Salesforce. Like in our mobile phones, when we format our mobile phones or when we format our system, so what happened when it reinstall, there are some pre-installed applications, system applications. We used to have system application. We used to say standard applications, standard objects, and standard fields. But apart from that, we used to create custom application, custom objects, and custom fields. Okay, we can customize we can create a custom application, custom objects, and custom fields, or we can go with existing also. That is called standard application, standard objects, and standard fields. From your mobile phone, is it possible to delete the system applications? Can you do that? Can you remove system apps?
No.
No.
But if you have installed any application, will you be able to remove that application? Let's suppose today you download and install WhatsApp, and is it possible to remove that tomorrow? Later on, can you remove that?
Yes.
Right? So that means anything which is standard cannot be removed. Anything which is custom, they are fully customizable. So this is the restriction with the standard applications, objects, and fields. They can't be removed. They can't be customized. We cannot rename them, right? And but the custom one, they are fully customizable. We can do anything with that. Whatever we want, we can do that. This one. Understood, everyone? Any questions still here? Till now, any questions, anyone?
I'm good.
Okay, great. So now let's okay, so it's almost 10 minutes past once we register, after we sign up for an account. Let me go and check my mail account whether I've received an email or not. So let me check my mail account, and you can see I have received an email. See, welcome to Salesforce, verify your account. So once your account will be, once your platform is ready, Salesforce will send an email to us. We have to use this email, like we need to follow this email and subscribe. We need to verify our account. One more thing about Salesforce, as I mentioned, it's a cloud solution. So even if I share my credentials to you, you will not be able to log in. We used to say that it's a cloud online, so it's not safe. But with Salesforce, it's safe. Reason? Today, I verify an account. I sign up for an account, and I register. Means I set my credentials. And if I expose my credentials to you, you won't be able to use that. You won't be able to log in using those credentials. Reason? Salesforce will track the IP address. Okay, Salesforce will track the IP address. When we say IP address, okay, when I say IP address, so IP address means it will take your IP address, and then it will track your IP address, and it will check that last time previously that user logged in from which IP address, and if the IP address is same, then the Salesforce will allow to log in. Otherwise, Salesforce will send a verification code on this mail ID. That's the purpose of this email ID actually. Then Salesforce will send a verification code on this email ID. Fine. Anyway, we'll be going to verify this. So I click on verify account, and when you click on verify account, it will take you to the next tab. Here you have to provide the credentials. Credentials means we have to set the password. And I set my answer. Okay, so that's the security question, and that's my answer. So I've said that security question and answer. And once I click on change password, I will be verified here. Here. So this is my Salesforce interface. That's how the Salesforce interface looks like. This is my Salesforce interface. Okay, this is my Salesforce interface. Now in this Salesforce interface, I was just talking about the standard and the custom one. This one, let me close this. See, standard applications. So can you see these 9 dots? So when I click on these 9 dots, when I click on the 9 dots, I can see it will open an app launcher, and these all are the existing applications. These all are the standard applications. Standard mean existing applications. So for example, if I say sales, there's an application called sales. I can open this. I can click and open this sales. This is my application, standard application, and whatever all these things which you can see, these are called objects. Objects will be equivalent to tables. Okay, objects will be equivalent to tables. Understood? These are called tables. Fine, everyone? Yeah.
Yes.
And when we open any object, let's suppose I open an object called account. Account means all the companies, the list of the companies we will be associating with, we will be dealing with. These all are the company names, the business names. And these, okay, when I click on new button, we can simply add a new record. These all are fields. These all are standard fields. We cannot remove those fields. We cannot delete these fields. If I want, I can't. I cannot delete these fields. Okay, if I want to remove all these fields, I can't do that. But can we add more fields? Yes, we can. We can add more custom fields. So custom fields will be added. We can add more custom fields, but we cannot remove existing fields. We cannot remove existing fields or standard fields. So that's a limitation with that. That's why I mentioned here standard things are standard application objects and fields. They can't be removed. We can't customize them. Now in Salesforce, see, we are on application. So whenever we are on an application, that means, okay, so whenever we'll be on application, these are our objects. So whatever customizations we'll be doing here, customization means we can access these objects. Okay, we can use these objects, we can add records. But if we want to do any customizations, we need to navigate, we need to switch to setup. Without setup, okay, without setup, we can't do any customization. For example, in your systems also, or in your mobile phones as well, or in your desktop, let's suppose in your laptop, if you want to do any customizations, what we need to do, we need to go to settings, phone settings, laptop settings, or system settings. In same manner, for Salesforce, there is a setting option. There would be a setting option. And where's the setting option? Okay, so where will be the setting option? Right, where will be the setting option? Here is the setup. See this gear icon. So this is the gear icon. You have seen this gear icon many times. You click on this gear icon and it will open a setup for you. And when you click on setup, it will take you to setup tab. And when you click on setup tab, see that we have home, object manager. This is the section where we can do complete customization as a Salesforce administrator and as a Salesforce developer. Okay, so as a Salesforce administrator or as a Salesforce developer, we have access to the setup and we can do customizations. Okay, everyone, we can do customizations by using this. whether we have to, whether we need to work as a Salesforce administrator or we need to work as a Salesforce developer, we need to follow this. Now, I just want to see my personal information. I just want to see my details. So how can I do that? Click on view profile, click on settings. See, I can see my name. I can log out, click on settings, and when we click on settings, it will open personal information. See my name. If I want to customize my personal information, I can do that. My name, last name, alias, email, username, nickname, phone number, extension, okay, mobile number, contact number, address, company name, title, department, division, employee number, okay, start date and end date. We can configure that. Okay, we can configure this here. Okay, everyone. And I just want to see more details. So then I click on advanced user details, and when I click on advanced user details on left side in the same option, then I can see my profile. See what's my profile? System administrator profile.
Sumit, when we create the account, did we mention anywhere that system administrator, or by default it will take
by
it
default?
as...
By default, the very first account, whenever we register very first account, by default it will be like this. It will automatically register as a administrator. That's a default account.
Okay, got it. Yeah, thank you.
Next time, let's suppose if I add a new user. Now, because I'm an administrator, and this is the responsibility of a Salesforce administrator to register new user. Remember that I mentioned in the previous session also that this is the responsibility of an administrator to sign up a new account, new user, to register new user. Okay. To register new user. So how can we do that? How can we register new user? For that, we need to navigate to the users, and then we can do this. But right now, my profile is a system administrator, and because it's an administrator, I would be able to register a new user, and I can do customizations also. Okay, everyone.
So we are adding user to get a different profile, right? So right now we are in
Yes.
administrator profile. So if we want a
Right.
developer profile, we need to add one more.
No, developer profile. See, we don't have the developer profile, first of all.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have the developer profile. Reason, we can create a new custom profile and we can assign that profile to the user. But see, the thing is, what is the requirement? Our requirement is we need to do a customization either as an admin or a developer. We can do anything. We will be able to perform any operation on this. Okay, if I want to do any customizations, if you want to add new users, if you want to do any sort of customizations, we can do that from here only. But because I'm an administrator, so I have permission to do development also. So I don't need an additional license for that.
So then why we are adding a user now?
Okay, no, we are not adding a user now. I'm telling you that in future we can add a user, because see,
okay.
let's suppose, okay, tell me one thing. In a company, just hold for a minute. Just give me 2 minutes. Actually, someone is there. Let me quickly check that. Hello. Yes, sorry, everyone. Yes. So I was just talking about that. So we were asking that why do we need to register a new user? Okay, let me ask you a question. For example, in a company, in an organization, if you have 100 employees working in a company, so all 100 employees, they have the same permissions, same access, they can do anything, they can do everything, or they have limitations?
No, they will be having some limitations.
They will be having some limitations. So whose responsibility is to give these limitations? This is the responsibility of a Salesforce administrator. That's right, the administrator. So in our case, it's an administrator, but usually that's a job of an admin who perform all these, who used to assign the limitations, who used to give the permissions. That all we are okay. So that is the responsibility of an administrator. Okay, that is the responsibility of an administrator. Understood?
Got it, Sumit. Yeah, thank you.
Right now, we are going to work as a developer. So as a developer, we don't have to do that. We don't have to give permissions. We don't have to do that. Reason, as a developer, our job is to design a custom interface. Our job is to build a solution. Okay. Our job is to do a customizations. Whenever we get the requirements, we follow the requirements, and based on the okay. So based on that, we used to do customization. Understood? So based on the requirement, we used to do customization. That is our job. That's our. So that depends how we used to do that. That's the job of an administrator.
So the admin won't have permission to do the customizations, Sumit, or
No, admin can also see. Admin can also do that. The basic customizations can be done by the administrator. Okay, the administrator can do some basic customization, but when it comes to advanced customization, the programming, the coding, that that can't be done by administrator, because admin is not I'm not saying admin is not allowed to do that, but that's not a job of an admin. Admin job is to manage the company, because if everything will be done by the administrator, then what the developer will do? Okay,
so
but
still
let's
they
suppose,
have the permission. There is no limitation. They can't do it, but it's not their role. It's a developer role. That's what you're.
that's right, it's a developer.
Okay.
That's right, because admin can also do that, but as I mentioned that admin, they have other things to do.
Yeah.
Okay, they have other things to do. But let's suppose, for example, this is an object, and in this object need to add a new field. And if developer is not available that time, developer is busy, so admin is capable enough to do that. Admin can do that. If some very you can say some basic customizations can we do, we can do that. Admin can do that. But if some advanced customization required, then we need developers, professionals.
Okay.
For example, do you own a car?
Yeah.
Right? See, some few, let's suppose we are going somewhere and if some issue happens with our car, let's suppose that if the tire gets flat, what we'll do then? We know how to repair that. We should actually, everybody should know how to repair that, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that you can do. But if something happens in the engine of your car, then we are not able to do that. Reason, we are not expert for that. Then we have to call the experts.
Oh.
So in similar manner, admin, they can do basic customizations as on required, as on demand. But if some advanced customizations will be needed, some let's say programming, where the programming gets involved, then the developer comes into picture.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Clear that?
Yeah. Thank you.
That's the job of a developer then. Okay, so that's the way we used to sign up a Salesforce account. We discussed this thing. Now, if you want to talk about some, see here, if I want to do customizations, I can do that. I can change my password. Here's an option. I can change my password. I click on edit. I can do more customizations in advanced user details. I can, we can manage our username, right? Can we reset our password? Can we, definitely I can change my password. Okay. And I can change my password. So when we click on that, I click on change my password and I can do that. Right, I can set my current password, I can give my password, and I can change my password here. Fine. Okay. Then there's an option called login history, personal information we have discussed. Then there are other options also. So anyway, we'll be going to discuss these things quickly. And then we'll talk about the customization thing. Customization means the Apex. So in tomorrow's session, I'll introduce the Apex class to you. What is an Apex class? How do we use an Apex class? How the Apex class works, right? How to create an Apex class, and how Apex class will be related to, or how Apex class get associated with our Lightning Web components. So that all we'll discuss in our training program in this training. Fine. Okay.
Yeah, sure. So we do everything in the developer account.
Yes, everything will be doing in this developer account. That's right.
Okay.
Okay. So anyone, any questions, any queries? If you have any doubts,
Yeah.
Okay, great. So Sujata, Pungu, any questions to you from you?
I'm good, Sumit. Thanks for sharing those admin material. I started going through it.
Please go through that. And yeah, so those were initial topics. So once you go through those, you will be able to clear with the initial topics or the basics of Salesforce admin things.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Right. And as I mentioned earlier, also, still, if you have any questions in there, also, just let me know. We can discuss on. We can do that on our Friday session.
No, yeah, sure. That would be great.
Okay.
Sure. Thanks. Sumit.
Okay. Okay. So and Ruparani, you have joined today. Yes, tell me.
Yeah, that's why I missed one. I didn't miss the developer part, right? So today is
no. Today is the first session. What we did in the last session, actually, we just discussed about the we just discussed about the Salesforce, some basics of Salesforce.
Okay.
Right. And I mentioned that although it's a 5 days training program, Monday to Friday, but we'll be doing Monday to Thursday, and Friday session means my Friday. In okay, you are based in US or in India?
US.
Okay, you are in US. So that means on Thursday session, we'll be doing a quick recap for the whole week, what we have discussed. If any queries or any questions you got, that will be going to take. Also, if you have any doubts from the admin topics, we can discuss that also.
Okay. Okay.
Right, as you mentioned that you have already done the admin part by yourself 2 months ago, so definitely you might have some questions from there also, some doubts or some clarification. So if you need some clarification doubts, we can discuss over there, so that the Sujata and Pungu, they also can have the understanding about it, because they also have done the admin by themselves or maybe long back ago, so they also need some clarification on that.
Sumit, I just wanted to mention, as I told you earlier, I have not done. Salesforce is completely a new technology.
Yes, no problem. But if I remember, you mentioned that you will be you did couple of topics from first 2-3 topics from Trailhead.
Yeah. When I was researching about Salesforce, I was trying to understand what is all about. So I was going through the initial topics like objects, fields, what are those, and how to create. And I created the developer account at the time last week.
That's right.
Just I tried whether it will work out for me. So because I told you I was a mainframe developer and I wanted to be a Python developer, but I ended up like it's really hard to enter there. So finally, I thought I need a job. I want to do some development activities, and then I chose the Salesforce. It looked interesting to me when I was researching through it and watching the videos.
No problem. So you can just go through so now you have 2-3 days till Thursday, till Friday or Thursday. So you can complete those videos, complete those recordings, and in the Friday session, we can discuss. If you have any queries or doubts, we can discuss about that. Fine?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Thank you, Sumit.
Okay then.
And thank you for sharing the recording, Sumit. Yeah.
Welcome, Sujata.
Yeah.
Okay,
So far, so
everyone.
good.
Okay, great. Thanks. Okay then.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Thank you.
welcome
See you all.
everyone. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.